A new scheme designed to keep elderly Australians in their own homes will be rolled out across the country tomorrow. It's called Consumer Directed Care, and it means seniors can opt for in-home help of up to $52,000 a year, depending on their needs.
It would be a welcome relief to a lot of people out there. For the first time, they'll be allowed to choose their own providers, as well as pick the type of care that suits them best. So here to tell us more is Kylie Lambert from Daughterly Care and Peter McVeigh, whose father suffers from dementia. Ladies, thank you for coming in here. Kylie, just tell us, home care for the elderly is not new, but the government now has upped its game with this package. You were describing it to us just then during the news. So tell us exactly what this means for who needs it.
Okay. What the government has done is we're at a watershed moment. They've actually turned the in-home aged care industry upside down, and they've stripped power away from the people who are providing the care, and they've given it to the consumers. And they did that because the Productivity Commission said that we need to become more efficient and productive. And the biggest changes that people need to know about, your viewers, so that they get the best outcomes, is that, number one, for the first time ever, we have financial transparency. So that means every month they're going to get a statement saying how much the government has paid, how much the provider has kept in their fees, and what was left to buy care with. A lot of people don't know that the government does provide up to $53,232. And when you know that and you realise it's your money, you make better decisions. The second big change is that for the first time ever, you can say what type of care you want. So one type of care that I see becoming more popular because of this is live-in care. The third change, which is massive, is that you now have the right to say who is going to provide the care. You don't have to put up with substandard care workers or substandard service.
So the power is really back on the people.
The power is back if you know that you have these rights.
Okay. Peter, this new scheme rolls out across the country tomorrow, but you've been giving it a test run for the past 7 months. So how has it helped your dad?
Well, it's helped us to decide his care needs and to incorporate those. So that's things like cleaning, cooking, assistance with personal care. And we've also been able to schedule at a time that's convenient for us and not just wait for someone to turn up throughout the day. And I think most importantly, it's allowed us to choose the provider that gives that service. And for my father, that needs to be a carer that has understanding and knowledge about dementia, and also to have consistent carers and not just someone different every day, because that's very confusing.
Yeah.
And so the whole point is for him to stay at home as long as possible.
Exactly.
Kylie, I'm assuming that for consumers out there who want to use something like this, is there a way of adjusting what you think is good so you're not locked into anything? You can then go, you know what, we don't need that. What we need is someone to come in and take my mum out for a couple of days a week and cook for her on the other days.
You're not locked into anything.
Right.
They come out, they do a care plan, but with aged care, everything changes. And also, when you just do your research and you use services like CDC Checker, where they check your statement for free and see what you're being charged, there are some people that are charging 49%. They're keeping half of all the funding.
Wow.
Whereas other people, I've discovered, are only charging 15%. So, you know, for my clients, I've been checking their statements and helping them negotiate better care.
Yep.
And so you're adjusting it because the elders' care needs have changed, but you're also adjusting it because you find out information. There are certain fees that you do not have to pay. They are not a requirement, like in the rule book, which some of the, you know, which I've read many times in order to help my clients.
Yeah.
There are fees that people tell you they have to be paid, but they don't.
Right, okay. Peter, just with you, finally, you know, you had a few teething problems at first, but how do you think people can get the most out of these changes?
Well, I think it's important to do the research and be aware of what you have control of and what you don't. And there's plenty of sites you can Google. Also speak to providers, government and private providers, and get tips. And when a provider first meets with the person, they come with a budget. So it's a draft budget. So go through line by line what that means. And if necessary, you can negotiate. And I was able to do that with my father because there were some unnecessary fees. Through my research, I realised there was. And I had some guidance, and we've come to, you know, we've negotiated a reduction.
Interesting, Kylie. There's the example of it being back in the consumer hands. But thank you both so much for coming in. We really do appreciate this. And if you want more information on the changes rolling out tomorrow, head to daughterlycare.com.au. That's how you spell it there on the screen, daughterlycare.com.au.
Stay with us when we come back.